Hi everybody and welcome. Today's project I am going to be working on a quick release dog collar. I am using these metal nickel plated 3/4 of an inch quick release buckles, as well as one ring that is also 3/4, and this one is also nickel plated. So for this collar, the colors that I'm going to be using are this 550 cord in gray, and this is what my double cow's hitch is hooked up to. If you're not familiar with how to do a double cow's hitch, I will leave a link below where I show you guys how to hook up the double cow's hitch and also how to hook it up to your jig if you're not familiar with that as well. I'm also going to be using 2 strands of 550 cord in Pastel Rainbow, and it's got lots of different colors on it. This is what it looks like on the roll, and I'm using 2 strands of this. Also, I'll be using a 4mm in Rainbow glitter cordless cord. So it's just gutted, and it comes gutted, so you don't have to gut it yourself. And I'm also going to be using a 2mm in the same glitter rainbow color, and that is also gutted as well. So the first cord that I'm going to be adding is going to be one of the Pastel Rainbow cords, and what you're going to want to do is loosen up your cow's hitches just a little bit, and you are going to go right through both of those cow's hitches. I am using a Paracord needle. If you don't have one, that's quite alright. You can melt the tip of your cord just a little bit to make it a harder end so you can push it through easy. So I'm going to take one of the Pastel Rainbow cords, and I'm just going to go right through those 2 cow's hitches and bring it to the other side and to the middle. The next cord that I'm going to be adding is the glitter rainbow in the 4mm, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I want to go right through these 2 cow's hitches and then bring it to the other side and to the middle of the cord. For the next cord that I'm going to be adding is the other rainbow pastel cord, and what I want to do here is I want to go in between the first cow's hitch, go underneath the first stitch, underneath that second stitch, and go right up the second cow's hitch right through the middle, just like that. Pull it through to the other side and to the middle of the cord. Next is the 2mm rainbow glitter cord, and you're going to just do the exact same thing that you just did with the pastel cord. You're going to go in that first cow's hitch, underneath those 2 stitches, and up through the second cow's hitch, bring it to the other side and to the middle of the cord. Okay, so once you have your cords to the middle at the top, I do suggest double checking your measurements, especially when you are doing a collar that is a quick release collar, because you don't have that adjustability that you do with an adjustable collar when you're using an adapter. So I do suggest you double check your measurements just to make sure. I mean, if your measurement is off at the end, it's not the end of the world. You can just take it apart, but it's just a bummer when you have to do that. So I like to at least double check, if not triple check, just to make sure. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to use a really tiny clothespin to hold my ring at the top of my work. And not everybody has to do this. I do work on an inclining desk, so if I don't, it tends to fall down on me. So once you get all that out of the way, we can get started on weaving. So the first cords that I'm going to be starting with are the gray, and I'm going to be starting off on my right side. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take my gray cord on my right side, and I'm going to go underneath this first cord right here that is on my right up the middle, and then over that second cord on my left. So I'm basically just going right up the middle and then over. Next, I'm going to take my other gray cord on my left now, go underneath the cord that I just worked, and I'm basically going to go right up the middle again, and then over this second cord now on my right. And I have a little triangle there. The next cord that I'll be grabbing is the Pastel rainbow cord, and it's the second one that I ended up loading into my two cow's hitches. I'm going to take this cord and I'm going to go underneath all of my work, right up the middle two cords, and then down this loop that I made with the gray on my right side. The next cord that I'm going to be grabbing is my Pastel rainbow on my left side, and I want to go underneath all my work again and then right up the middle, and then I have this loop that I made on my left side with the gray, and I'm going to go down that loop. Now I'm going to take my clip off my cord, and I have these two horizontal gray cords, and I'm going to pick up on them just a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier to work with. Now I'm going to grab my Glittercord, the larger one, the 4mm. I'm going to be grabbing that one on my right side, and I'm going to be putting that through the O-ring. Once you have it through the O-ring, what you're going to do here is you want to take these two horizontal gray cords. You're going to go over and around those two horizontal cords. You're also going to go underneath the O-ring, and then you want to come up the middle right here, but you want to be on the right side of your working cord, so you just want to go through like that. So I'm going to take my cord and I'm going to go around the two horizontal gray cords. I'm going to go around the bottom part of that O-ring. I'm going to come up right here through these two middle cords that are the gray elongated cords, but I want to be on the right side of my working cord, so just put that over and come up the right side and then pull it through. Now I'm going to take the one on the left and I'm going to put it through the O-ring first. I want to go around those two horizontal gray cords, which are right here in the middle. I'm going to go around the bottom part of the O-ring. I'm going to come up through the middle just like I did, but I want to be on the left side of my working cord. So I'm going to go around those two horizontal gray cords. Go around the bottom of the O-ring, come up the middle, but then be on the left side of your working cord and pull that through. Now you have your other pastel. And you're going to be doing the exact same thing. You're going to go through the O-ring first. So take the one on the right, go through the O-ring first. Then you're going to go around those two horizontal gray cords, and I know that it gets really kind of confusing and messy right here, but once we're done with the O-ring, the weave is a lot easier. So you want to go around the two horizontal gray cords, which are right here. So I'm going to pull those up a little bit, go around those two cords, and go around the bottom part of the O-ring. You want to come up through the middle, but you want to be on the right side of your working cord, and you pull that up. Take the one on the left now, go through the O-ring. Once you're through the O-ring, find those two horizontal gray cords. And the more you end up putting through the O-ring, the more squished up everything ends up getting. Okay, I found them. So I'm going to go around those two horizontal gray cords. I'm going to go around the O-ring, and I'm going to come up through the middle and then put it on the left side of my working cord and pull that up. One more to go. Take your smaller glitter cord now, and you're going to go through that O-ring again on your right side. Pull it through. Now you're going to go around those two horizontal cords. So you're going to find the middle, go around, and then go around the bottom part of the O-ring. And then you want to come up through the middle and then be on the right side of your working cord. Take the one on the left now, go through the O-ring, go around those two horizontal cords and the bottom part of the O-ring. Go up through the middle, but be on the left side of your working cord, and then pull it up, and now you can just tighten it up. I suggest tightening everything up nice and slow, and pulling on the same cord on each side at the same time. Alright, so once you have it nice and tight at the top, you can push the rest of your cords through the O-ring so they're all coming out of the bottom part of the weave. And you can roll up your ends if you would like. My suggestion when you are working with two cords that are the same color, like the two pastel cords are the same, I like to roll one up small and one up larger, and that helps me grab the right ones at the right time. So this one and the other one on the other side, this is the same cord that went through. These are rolled up a little bit bigger, and then my bottom cords are rolled up a little bit smaller. Okay, once we have all of that taken care of, we can start again. So I'm going to be starting on my right side again, and I'm going to take my gray, and I'm going to go right up the middle, and then over that second cord that is on my left. Take my gray on my left side, go underneath the cord that I just worked, go right up the middle again, and then over. I'm going to be taking the smaller bundle of pastel now, and I'm going to go underneath my work, right up the middle, and then down that loop on my right side. I'm going to take my smaller bundle on my left side now, go underneath my work, right up the middle, and then down that loop on my left side. Now I'm going to find those two horizontal gray pieces, pick them up just a little bit. I'm going to take my larger glitter cord, and I'm just going to go around those two cords and then out the right. So I'm going to go over and around those two cords, those two horizontal gray cords, around and then out the right. Take the one on the left now, and I'm going to go around those two gray cords and then out the left. So go over and around them, and out the left. Now I'm going to take my larger pastel bundle and I'm going to go over and around those two gray cords and out the right. Take the one on the left now and go over and around and out the left. And do the same with the smaller glitter cord. You're just going to go over and around and out the right. And then take the one on the left. Make sure that they're not like crooked or anything, that you didn't get them crossed or anything, because they're small and they can trick you sometimes. So you're going to take the one on the left now and you're going to go over and around and out the left and then tighten it up. Once you have it tightened up, you can start that weave all over again. Take your gray on the right, go underneath, right up the middle, and then over that second cord on your left. Take your gray cord on your left side, go underneath the cord that you just worked, right up the middle again, and then over. Next, you're going to take your smaller bundle of your pastel and you're going to go underneath your work, right up the middle, and then down that loop. Take your smaller bundle of pastel on your left now, go underneath, right up the middle, and down that loop on your left side. Find those two horizontal gray pieces, you can pick them up. Take your larger glitter cord, go over and around those two cords and out the right. Take your one on the left now, go around those two horizontal gray cords and out the left. Next, take your larger bundle of your pastel, go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. And then the same with the smaller glitter cord. Take the one on the right, go over and around and out the right. The one on the left, go over and around and out left. And then tighten it up. Okay. So I'm at the end of my collar now and I took it off the jig, and now we can sew in or weave in these top cords. The cords that are directly coming out of the side, I'll cut and melt them there. So I'm going to be starting with my larger rainbow glitter cord that is on my right side, and you have a gap between your work and the double cow's hitch. You're going to go inside that gap. You're going to do that for both of the larger rainbow cords as well as the two pastel rainbow cords. They'll go through as well. We are going to do something different with the smaller glitter cords. Once you have all those cords through, what you're going to do next is you're going to take your smaller rainbow cords, and you have a really small hole between the two cow's hitches. You're going to go in that hole with your cord on both sides and just pull it to the other side. Once you have those cords all going from the front to the back, you can turn over your work, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than I usually do. Because your glitter cord is not going to melt, you're not able to, melt it and squish it down like you usually do. I'm going to actually be weaving them through these two top stitches on the back side of the collar. So now I'll take this larger glitter cord on my right side, and you have these 2 stitches in the middle right at the top. I'm going to go through on the right side, go through this first stitch. You want to go through the middle stitches. You're going to pull that cord down. Do the same for your smaller glitter cord. So I'm taking the one on my right, and I'm going to go down that green stitch again with the smaller glitter cord now. Pull it down. And now I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. So on the left side, I'll be taking both glitter cords, and you have another stitch in the middle that's on the left side. You're going to be just going right through those stitches as well, or going through that stitch with the 2 strands as well. Now you're just going to tighten everything up. Alright, now we can cut and burn everything. So I'm going to start on my sides, and I'm going to go about 1/4 of the way up of an inch. I'm going to fray them out. And I'm going to melt the ends one at a time and squish them down with my butter knife. Try not to let it catch on fire. Squish it down. I'm going to do the same for the top. And now I'll do the same on the opposite side. So I'm just going to cut them the same and fray them out and squish them down. Once you have that side done, we can start on the middle cords. Like I said, these glitter cords don't burn like the other cords, and it's because they're gutted. So I am going to cut them the same length. Then I want to lay those on top. And then I'm going to cut these 2 smaller ones. So I'm going to cut these 2 middle ones a little bit longer than I did before. I'm going to cut and I'm going to burn each one separately. So I'm going to fray it out really well. And I'm going to squish that down. Hold it there. Do the same for the other one. So for those middle ones, I had to burn them a little bit hotter so they would stick to the glitter cords and go kind of in between the glitter cord to the collar to get everything to stick. Once you have that done, you can put on some non-foaming clear Gorilla Glue. I use it on all my collars. And I do suggest it for this collar only because of the glitter cord. You want all your hard work to stay put. So unfortunately my cap is not working correctly, so I gotta be careful because you don't need a bunch. And I'm just going to rub that around on the whole entire area that I just worked on with the melted caps and the top here. So now I'm going to let this dry, and once it's dry I will show you what the finished result looks like. Another thing that I wanted to mention before I go is that working with this Glittercord, I was really concerned that, you know, working with it, rubbing your hands on it, like the glitter was going to come off of the cord. None of it like shedded anywhere. It stayed on the cord, so I really liked that. So it won't lose its brightness or shine to it. So again, I will show you guys what it looks like when it is completely dry.